The industry we work in is actually in agricultural technology transfer. And when you talk about agricultural technology transfer, you're actually talking about seed, because most of the agricultural technology is transferred in the form of a seed. Now, so this is very dear to us, it's a very core theme to us, transfer of seed to farmers for them to have better livelihoods. Now, when you work in the seed systems in Africa, there's a lot of issues that one encounters. I have the benefit of working in West Africa, Eastern Africa, and Southern Africa. So I've seen a lot of challenges that come along with working in the seed sector. And one of the things which you'll obviously see is the very diverse seed regulations. They're at very different stages of development, meaning that sometimes it's difficult even to move seeds between countries that are neighboring each other, simply because of regulations not permitting one thing or the other, or the regulatory agency in one country not permitting seed to be imported for one reason or another due to varying requirements in terms of seed regulations. So that's one thing that you'll see. And if you're talking about structures, even things like roads are an issue, because the roads determine how you access the markets. And you'll find that quite often, like most of the farmers in Africa are the so-called smallholder farmers, those farmers with 1 hectare of land or less. And you find that in remote areas, it's sometimes not so easy to access the markets for them. And you'll find them, many of them recycling seed, because that's what they can find. Not necessarily that because that's what they want, but that's what they can find easily and replant again. So that happens. Those are some of the challenges in terms of regulations, in terms of infrastructure. But fortunately, there is a process of, you may be aware, the process of harmonization of seed regulations that is moving across the continent. And we are hoping that this one will improve the transboundary movement of seeds between countries. Because the idea is to have harmonized regulations so that, for example, in Kenya, I can give an example. If you release a variety today, a maize variety in Kenya, you only need to do 1 season of testing in Tanzania before it is released for commercial production. Those are the kind of things that we want to come more and more. We would even wish that if you release it in Kenya, you just use it in Tanzania, in Uganda, if it's applicable in the geography that it can do well. Because at the end of the day, really, this is one country with many sets of regulations. Yeah. Regulations are influenced by policy. So it starts from policy, because it is policy that drives those regulations. And I think we are making headway. If I look at the scenario in Kenya, in Uganda, Tanzania, Burkina Faso, Nigeria, policies are being harmonized slowly. What I like that is taking place is a lot of talking, the countries talking with each other. The Francophone countries in West Africa were a little bit detached from the Anglophone countries in the past. But now there's joint kind of associations that encourage policymakers from those countries to come together and discuss together. So in terms of policy, I think we made headway. And that's why I think we are now going to implementation of, trying to implement rather the harmonized regulations that are actually already in existence. We have harmonized regulations in West Africa, in the SADC region in Southern Africa, and in Eastern Africa. But I know it's a process, because it will need policymakers to sign off, it will need technical people to sign off. That is happening, that is going on. And I think one of the best ways in which to operationalize these systems is to have a tangible product. Have a tangible product that can actually be produced, for example, in Tanzania, and if it's a maize seed, for example, and import it, use the harmonized rules to import it or regulations into Kenya. That will operationalize the system. Because as of now, we've been talking about it, but I think it needs to be used now. Yeah, thank you.